Now then guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping well. Well, I've just got to Derby County for their game against Southampton today. We're faced with Storm Amy. It's blowing an absolute hoolie. I've got all the waterproof gear ready. As you can see, got the hat on already. I do like coming to Pride Park. See it behind me, look. It's a lovely ground to play at. It's a Premier League ground really, but anyway. Yeah, I think Southampton are 15th, Derby are 20th, so probably going to go Southampton attack first half, but we shall see. Anyway, I'm all togged up and ready to go. Let's go and get me pass and my bib, and I'll show you where I'm going to sit. What hooligans have we got in here? Jez and John. What we're looking at, John?
Yo.
Oh, you're hiding it. So we're just looking at John's new fandangled, lovely, thick, padded seat. I'm just going to take it off, John. Can I? Did it just come off? Yeah. And it spins as well. But what seat is that then? I've not seen that one before. What make is it? It's not Minimax, is it?
No, it's off Amazon.
Oh, right.
We'll
yeah.
put a link in the.
Yes, put a link in. We'll get a link up for you and we'll put it in the video description. But that is nice. All right. All right. So it's proper. So this bit comes with the seat, which is a little bit of foam, and then have you made that cover then?
No, it's off Amazon.
All right. I'm going to look into that. That is luxury pitchside. Spot on. Thanks, John. Bob on. We'll put some links in the description anyway. But yeah, it beats getting a numb arse on that one. So we're just having a test run. And that seat is really smart how it spins. I like that. So it links in those holes. Spins. Right, we'll climb these steps. I'll show you the ground. It's a nice ground, Pride Park. I do love the writing. You can really get some nice compositions with the writing in, with the rams. But yeah, it's a lovely ground. That's the away corner. You can see all the staff are there. But anyway, let's go and have a look and I'll show you where I'm going to sit. Right, well, I'm going to position myself. Usual spot, 18-yard line or thereabouts. So somewhere down here, behind the digiboards. I think we'll go here somewhere. Something like that. That's where I'm going to position myself. And all being well, I'm going to go Southampton attack first half. So I'll put my stool down here in a bit and get that ready. But then I'll probably loiter round the dugout and see what happens on the coin toss and if I have to move, because I want to do Saints first half. So we shall see. But yeah, job's a good one. Right, best get some shooting done. Catch up at full time. Well, flipping heck. As you can see, before I go on about the game, I'm back at home. I struggled, as did John and Cameron, I think. And I've got to say thanks to Cameron for letting me leapfrog onto his EE dongle, but I could not send out from it. It's weird because he was sending fine, but I just couldn't send out. Tried my Vodafone dongle, tried my O2 MiFi, but nothing. Could not get out. So I had to dash back into the press room at full time, get everything uploaded and get everything sent off from there. So I thought I'll have to do a fireplace video. So here we are. Anyway, whoa, a bit of a drab game. It was 1-1, as you'll see in a minute, but yawn fest really. But anyway, before I get onto the game, what do you reckon to John's new seat? I think that was the highlight. That's going to be the highlight of the day. That sponge. Although he did say at full time how it needed to be. It needed to be a bit thicker. But it was certainly good enough for my arse, the thickness of that foam, John. But yeah, what a great design. And I should have done a bit more video on it. If I bump into John again, I'll get a bit more video of it. But the way it locked onto the top of the seat was pretty ingenious, really. And I must say, I've always sworn by my Minimax stool. I've had that 12 years, I want to say now. And it's never missed a beat. It's never collapsed or anything. But yeah, it certainly looked quite a substantial stool, that did, and the cushion looked great. John's kindly sent me the links, which will be in the description below. So if you fancy having a look, click on the links below. But anyway, without further ado, let's have a look at the game. Right, well, I actually, because I was chatting so much and looking at that stool, I was just a little bit late getting into the ground. I said to the lads, flipping heck, I said to Jez and John and Cameron, I'm going to have to get out there chatting about this stool. But anyway, so I got out there just as the team was arriving, so still had plenty of time to get some GVs. But yeah, here we are, look, one or two of Saints arriving and just looking around, and this is the gaffer, Will Still, I think it is. So yeah, that's the gaffer there. Just walking in amongst his players, which was nice. It's nice to get a gaffer out with the players before the game. A lot of time they don't come out, but he came out and had a look. So yeah, just usual sort of stuff. High angles to get a nice clean backdrop, and then drop down low to get the stands in the background. And yeah, just one or two of that, and then just went nice and wide. And I think when I walked in, I said, oh, I like it that the seating's all got plenty of lettering on, and just makes a nice composition with these few Saints lads here. And just sets the scene a bit. And then a few GVs, goalmouth again. I do like that high angle. That's a good call, that. But I like the high angle, low angle there. Look for the pitch, and I must say, the pitch looked absolutely fantastic. And as you can see here, look, just composed it. Derby, the Rams, and got that in, and then just went up into the stands just to get a nice widey of it, and then outside for some fan stuff. And this little un, look, he was waving his flags, and I just knelt down and got a nice low angle, good depth of field. I'm at 2.8, look, at 1,000th, just to make them flags look nice and still. And yeah, nice shot of him. And then these, I tried to get these, they were eating some chips naturally, and then they all clocked me. So I said, come on then, give us a cheer. So they just give me a cheer, and it made quite a nice GV. And then back into the ground. One or two warm-ups, just getting one or two of the highlighted players, and referee just having a warm-up with the two assistants, and then the gaffer's coming out, and he was doing a bit of a, I don't know if some of you will have photographed Jurgen Klopp. He used to do this. He used to stand and watch the opposition warming up. I don't know if it was meant to be a bit intimidating or what, but he was doing that for a while, so I just snapped him with his foot on the ball there. And then, as you know, it was for those in the UK, it was Storm Amy this weekend, and it was really windy. But luckily, we never got any rain. I was all togged up ready for it, but never got any. And I wanted to try and portray fans sort of being warm and trying to keep warm. And these two ladies had their hot chocolate and their Dow Egberts, look, so all the coffees are available. And yeah, just having a chat, and you can see the wind's blowing our hair a bit, and it'd have been nice if I was on am I on the 400 here? Yeah, I'm on the 400, look, into the crowd. And it'd have been nice if I'd just probably gone this way a bit, but I just literally turned and snapped them. But then these two were really well warmed up, look, with their woolly hats on and that. And then it's kick-off now, into the dugout, and no handshake this week. They didn't shake hands. I think did they? No, I was blocked. The announcer was he was mingling about, and he just walked back towards the dugout as Eustace came out, Derby County's manager, and handshake, and missed it. I was blocked. But one or two of the ref coming out, and then some of the managers just stood waiting for kick-off. And yeah, these look, I mean, these could all go with different stories, you know, so filled the boots with the managers anyway. And then pretty much, what's this, 6 minutes in, look, keeper made a good save. I always say it, the R5 pulls lovely. And yeah, pulled him in right in, look, and he's nice and sharp. Made a good save there, the keeper did. And then this is the Saints goal, another minute later, look, 15:07. Saints number 9 scored. And obviously that's on the 400, pretty much that's full frame, I think. And then I'm just cropping him in there and pulling in a bit, look. And yeah, he scored. He ran off, didn't really look my way, but he ran off and just celebrated with his players and teammates, and that was that. Then just hosing the ref down. I always try and like to try and get plenty of the ref, because you never know if they're going to be in a story or not, so always hose the ref down. And he was actually talking to Morris here, and I think during a corner, Morris had clung onto this lad's shirt and ripped it, and I think he was basically saying, just steady on, look, got to go and get this shirt. And him going to change his shirt and the ref hanging onto the ball caused a bit of aggro. This lad was getting seriously upset because matey was, I think he's just behind in the background here, still changing his shirt, and time was ticking. And there he is, look, there he is, you can see him in the background there, changing his shirt, and he's going, come on ref, what's going on? So I just snapped away at that. And always like to get one of the ball being placed for a corner, and that's pretty perfect. You can see what we need to see there, Puma and Sky Bet and EFL, so that was nice, just put position in it. And he's off again, look, more time wasting ref, what's going on? And yeah, he was quite animated. And then one of Morris, just because he's one of the star players at Derby, so just one of him. And then later on, this lad actually scored, so I sent one or two of him off, because I always like to send as many of the goal scorer off in as many different guises as I can, just in case people want to use them in a story. There's Will Still, I'm getting a bit animated and shouting out instruction to players, and I actually got quite a nice set of action from this game, so yeah, quite like that one, full stretch there, and then him turning on the ball and changing the play, and then, oh, this is the goal, so this is the Derby equaliser. What's this on? This is just before half time, look, 15:39. Yeah, nice, good climbing header from number 7, and so that's obviously a bit of a crop. And then I kept it wide to keep as many players in as I can to make the composition nice and full. And then headers going down and then in. And then they celebrated through the net, but with a bit of clarity and a bit of contrast, and take the D-haze down on the slider, you can bring the players quite well out and lose the net a bit. So it's through the net, but you can still see that they're celebrating. And then I just wanted to get, so we're into second half now, wanted to get just a general view of the score, and there we are, and that's what it ended up being. So yeah, just a widey of the score there at 1-1. Bit more action. I was hoping he was going to score, but I think it was tapped wide by the keeper. And nice bit of reaction there. And then I went for as you know, I've got another lot of settings that I use for my pan blur on my back button focus button, because as you know, I'm old school and I still focus with the shutter button. I know some of you say I'm mad to do that, but I just can't get muscle memory right. I've been doing it on the shutter for too long. So my button, my back button focus button, is set for this lot of settings, look. So it's set at ISO 320, aperture 16, shutter 30, and I just flick it on that, do a bit of panning, hopefully get a pan blur. Unfortunately, the best one with his face the sharpest was with this blodge of flipping high vis. Say it every week, don't I? In the background, but I sent it off anyway because it still shows an element of speed, but it's just a shame that we've got high vis. But anyway, yeah, so just hit that button, do a bit of panning, release it, and it gets me back to those settings. Look, 2000th, ISO 1000. Obviously, I'm changing that all the time in my exposure compensation now. I'm at plus 0.3 there, but another one of the ref, just various guises, and then another one there. One of them blowing his whistle, just filled my boots with the ref. One of Ustis, just making some notes there, and then there was quite a few yellow cards, of which I was blocked for most of them, but this fella, the one that was causing a bit of aggro and moaning, he carved him right up. So yeah, nice composition that. He's getting a yellow. Even though the ref's facing the wrong way, you can sort of read that he's looking cheesed off and he's the one with the yellow. And obviously he's the one that got carved up. But yeah, so that was a yellow card. Now I know if some of you don't like this, bit of a Marmite image this, but I like it. He's looking almost right at me, but you can see this player's arm here and side of his body. So you know that he's looking at play. And he just happened to look my way, just as matey just lifted his arm up, and quite like that. Something just a bit different. Another bit of action, and always adds to it when you've got hairstyles like this flying about. So that was a nice bit of action there as he's turning on the ball. And then a bit more here. Morris getting tackled from behind, feeling pressure from behind. Eyes on the ball. Another yellow card. I think it was number 4 that got the yellow card this time. And I always try and get the substitutes, because you never know if there's going to be a story when someone's brought off. Obviously Morris being brought off there for this Dutch guy, I think, from Netherlands, I think he is. Brought him on, and then a handshake with the boss, so make sure I got that, because he did have quite a good game. I was hoping this was going to go in, but it went wide. And then we've got the ref here just halting play for an injury, I think, which was quite nice. Lovely backdrop to that one. And then here we are, full time. Bit of a yawn fest, but full time. And just got that player on the floor. Look, he's looking a bit fed up. He's got his shoulders are down. Look, you can just tell by the body language it wasn't a great game. And just 1 or 2. That's the manager coming over, because I was sat Saints end. I stayed the same end, and sat next to John with his fancy stool and Cameron. But yeah, just 1 or 2 of the Saints players. Saints captain just applauding the fans. Then one of Morris, because he's quite a high spec player for Derby. And then one of Eustis to finish off. And I keep calling him Eustis. It is Eustis, isn't it? Yeah, John Eustis, yeah. And yeah, one of him to finish off. And that's that. Oh, and I've got to say thanks to John. I'll pop it up now. When we were knelt down for getting ready for the players coming out and that, he went, oi, I just looked, and he took a snap of me on his phone. I'll put it up now, yeah. Quite a good portrait shot, this. Cheesy grin from me, holding the 400, and yeah, it was really good to catch up with the guys, with John and Jez and Cameron. Yeah, always a good laugh, good bit of banter, and if there's occasions like that, I might do a bit more filming in the press room just to add to the video a bit, especially if someone's got a new bit of kit or something and they don't mind. But yeah, just adds to the video a bit, doesn't it? But anyway, this weekend, where am I? I am Chesterfield this weekend. No, I'm not. I didn't have a game because it's I had a gap in my calendar, and I thought, oh, I'll do something else, go and do a bit of woodland or something, or go fishing. Anyway, check my calendar today, and I've got Grimsby Colchester now, so local game for me. So yeah, if anyone's going to Grimsby, I'll see you there. Looking forward to that. 3 o'clock kickoff. Think it's going to be nice weather. Doesn't talk of any rain at the weekend, so hopefully we'll be all right. Touch wood, fingers crossed. We'll have a good weather game. But yeah, do let me know where you are this weekend in the comments below. I'm trying to get through them best I can. I'm going to have a sit down in a minute and go through a few more comments from last week. And just as a bit of a bonus, I actually did a women's game, and I'll try and get that filmed again. I did the women's game. I shot for Ipswich Town women, actually. Richard Carver, who's the Ipswich Town photographer, they had a game at Portman Road against Norwich. Massive game. They ended up winning, and Richard said, oh, I've got a big game. You couldn't cover the women up at Sheffield United, could you? So I said, yeah, of course I can. So yeah, a little extra sift on Sunday, and I did do a video on it, so that'll be coming out soon as a bit of a bonus, and keep an eye out for that one. It was great to photograph the women's game, because they don't mess about either. But anyway, yeah, that'll be come in the next day or two, hopefully, or probably middle of next week or something. We'll see how we get on. But yeah, Grimsby Colchester this Saturday, and yeah, if you're there, I'll see you there. Anyway, thanks ever so much for watching, guys. Thanks for all your support. I never say thank you enough. If you like this content and you're new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe and hit that like button, because hitting that like button really does increase the views, and it lets YouTube know, as I've said in the past, that you enjoy the content. Yeah, so if you can remember to hit that like button, that'd be very much appreciated. Anyway, have a great weekend, guys. Catch up next week. Job's a good one.